Think about the pineapple juice you bought at the market for $3. You open the bottle, you drink it. Sweet, cold, refreshing. But have you ever wondered, how is this fruit juice made? What happens when the pineapple arrives at the factory? How is it cleaned? How is it peeled? And how does it end up in that bottle? In my previous video, I told you about the pineapple's 2-year journey from the field to the supermarket shelf. You saw the 3,000-kilometer journey, the cold chain, and why it's so expensive. But today, there's a completely different process. The journey from the field is over. Now, the pineapple's real transformation journey begins. What happens when the pineapple enters the factory gate? In this video, I'll show you what happens after it goes through that gate. I'll explain how the machines work, the hygiene checks, pasteurization, and how that $3 price on the shelf is determined. Trust me. This video will come to mind when you drink pineapple juice. Let's get started. You remember, don't you? The pineapples are harvested from fields in Mexico and loaded onto refrigerated trucks. This time, their destination isn't the market, it's the juice factory. When the trucks arrive at the factory, thousands of pineapples are unloaded at once. First task, inspection. Workers examine each pineapple individually. Is it rotten, bruised, damaged? It's immediately set aside. Why so meticulous? Because a single bad pineapple can ruin the taste of thousands of liters of juice. And now, here's a shocking statistic. During this initial inspection, 5 to 10% of the pineapples are discarded. So part of a truckload of pineapples doesn't even make it into the factory. The remaining ones are placed on conveyor belts. And this is where the machine process begins. But before we move on to the machines, let's think about the people behind this line, because they are the real force keeping the process going. The factory shift is starting. Workers enter the hygiene room. They disinfect their hands, put on special clothing, and wear hairnets. The rule in food factories is very clear. Hygiene is paramount. There are several checks to enter the factory. Shoes are disinfected. Hands are washed and disinfected. Clothing is inspected. Why so meticulous? Because food is produced here. Some check the machines. Some perform quality tests. Others ensure the bottles are filled correctly. And there is no room for error in this work, because every bottle will end up on a family's table. Think about it. The effort of these people is behind that bottle you pick up from the supermarket shelf. Now let's take a look at the first stage the pineapples go through. First stop, washing. High pressure water is sprayed onto the pineapples. Soil, field debris, pesticide residues, everything is cleaned off. Think about it. When you wash fruits and vegetables at home, you run water from the tap, right? The same logic applies here, only much more powerful. The water used is chlorine-free, completely hygienic processed water. But is water alone enough? No. Some factories also use ozone gas. Ozone kills bacteria, but leaves no chemical residue. The water pressure is so high that it reaches every part of the pineapple. The entire washing process takes only 15 to 20 seconds. But those 20 seconds are one of the most critical steps in the entire process. The cleaned pineapples move on to the peeling unit, and now we come to the most satisfying part of the video. Automatic peeling machines. The machine scans the pineapple with a laser. Just like when you get an x-ray at the hospital, where the same thing happens here. It calculates the size of the pineapple in seconds, and the cutting begins. The top and bottom are cut off. The peel is removed in a thin spiral shape. The entire process, 3 to 5 seconds. The machines are so precise that there is almost no fruit loss while removing the peel completely. But what happens to the peeled skins? Do they go to waste? No. Most factories sell these peels as animal feed or compost. Some factories even produce biogas from the peels. So there's zero waste. But the real transformation is just beginning. The pineapple is about to turn into juice. But wait. A random pineapple is taken from the conveyor belt and taken to the laboratory. Why? Because 1 out of every 500 pineapples must be tested. In the laboratory, a microbiologist takes a small sample from inside the pineapple. The pH level is measured, the sugar content is checked, a bacteria test is performed. If the results do not meet the standards, the entire batch is rejected. Yes, you heard right. Thousands of pineapples can be removed from production because they fail a single test. Although rare, this does happen. That's why the laboratory is one of the factory's invisible but most critical points. These tests continue throughout production, and no bottles are shipped to stores without approval of the results. Now let's return to the conveyor belts. The peeled pineapples arrive at the cutting unit. Here, Massive rotating blades cut the pineapple into small pieces. All of them are prepared for pressing. Now it's time for the press unit. The high-pressure press separates the pineapple from its fibers and extracts all its juice. On one side, pure fruit juice comes out. On the other side, pulp. Think about squeezing oranges at home. Here, the same process is done for hundreds of pineapples per second. The pulp that comes out doesn't go to waste. It's used as animal feed or fiber supplement. But now, something might catch your attention. The juice that comes out isn't as clear as you might think. It contains small fiber particles and seed remnants. So how does it turn into that transparent juice on the supermarket shelf? The answer: filtration. The juice is passed through very fine filters. This is micron-level filtration. Even particles 1/100th the thickness of a human hair are caught, and the result is pure clear pineapple juice. It is now transferred to large stainless steel tanks. And here, a safety measure comes into play: pasteurization. You boil milk at home to kill the germs, right? The same logic applies here. Pineapple juice is heated to between 85 to 95 degrees for 15 to 30 seconds. If this process is not carried out, the fruit juice in the bottle will spoil within a few days. After the heat treatment, the juice is rapidly cooled. The less time it spends at high temperatures, the better the flavor and vitamins are preserved. But now, I'll tell you the truth. Some brands add water, sugar, or flavorings at this stage. It's legally permitted. Premium brands, however, use 100% pure fruit juice. So which one are you drinking? Check the back of the label. If it says ingredients, 100% pineapple juice, it means it's additive free. But if you see words like sugar, sweetener, flavoring, then you're drinking a mixture, not pure fruit juice. And now it's time for that massive filling line. Pasteurized juice is pumped into the filling line. Empty bottles move quickly along the conveyor belt. The machine fills hundreds of bottles per minute. Thanks to sensors, each bottle is filled to the millimeter. After filling, the caps are tightly sealed to be airtight. Labels are applied, the expiration date is printed, the bottles are arranged in cardboard boxes and loaded onto pallets. They are now ready for shipment. Think about it. This journey, which began in the field, reached your hands thanks to the labor of dozens of machines and workers. So what is the cost of this entire process? Wait, it's not over yet. There's one more step. The bottles are transported to the factory warehouse. Here, the cold chain continues, 4 to 7 degrees, because if pineapple juice is left in the heat, it spoils. When stores place orders, the pallets are loaded onto refrigerated trucks. Yes, refrigerated trucks again, just as it came from the field to the factory in a cold chain. It goes from the factory to the stores the same way. The inside of the truck is 5 to 8 degrees. Some bottles travel 50 kilometers, some travel thousands of kilometers. Every kilometer means extra fuel, extra cost. And finally, the truck arrives at the store's warehouse. From there, it goes to the shelves. So from the field to your hands, an unbroken cold chain. Now let's do a quick summary of the market price and the costs of this process. A liter of pineapple juice costs an average of $3 to $5 in the market. What does this price include? The farmer's cost, 2 years of waiting, harvesting, transportation, 3,000 kilometers, cold chain, factory labor, energy for washing and peeling machines, pasteurization, bottles, caps, labels, packaging, and logistics, market profit margin. Now you know the enormous process behind the pineapple juice you drink. In this video, we examined the entire process of how pineapples are turned into juice at the factory. Now you know what's behind that bottle you see on the supermarket shelf. But now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed? Some brands' bottles are $3, others are $5. Why is there such a difference? Because some use 100% pure fruit juice, some add water and sugar, some use organic pineapples, some use regular ones. And these prices change every year. Fuel prices go up, transportation costs increase, weather conditions worsen, harvest decreases, prices rise. So that price tag on the supermarket shelf actually tells a lot. If you're curious about how pineapples grow for 2 years before arriving at the factory, how 15% of them are lost during harvest, and the real costs behind the price, be sure to check out my first video in the description. And now I want to ask you, which brand of pineapple juice do you buy at the supermarket? The expensive one or the cheap one? Or do you check the label and choose the one with 100% fruit juice? Write in the comments. I'm really curious. And don't forget to write which fruit you'd like to see next. Orange, mango, apple? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.